Good evening and welcome back to another edition of Penn State Sports Night. I'm Andrew Destin, joined alongside Jarrett Daveler and Dugan Lloyd to break down the key matchups of this bowl season. We'll start off local with the Penn State Nittany Lions, traveling to the Lone Star State to take on the American Athletic Conference champion Memphis Tigers in the Cotton Bowl Classic. Guys, tell us about Memphis and what can we expect in this first New Year's Six matchup?
Listen, don't overlook Memphis. They're 12-1. They are the AAC champs, and their quarterback is 6th in the country in passing touchdowns. This team's legit, but they're not going to be enough to beat Penn State. They're going to have Clifford most likely and Gross Matos most likely. It'll be Penn State in a close one.
I think Memphis is going to be amped up for this game, and I think they're going to come out on top. Coaching changes might affect them with Mike Norvell headed to Florida State, but Penn State's offensive coordinator, Ricky Ronnie, is also headed to Old Dominion. Kenneth Gainwell, Memphis running back, has rushed for 1,425 yards, which is 8th in the nation. I think they're just as talented as Penn State at the quarterback position with Brady White, as Dugan mentioned. So I think it's going to be an interesting matchup, but I just think Memphis is more motivated, and they come out on top.
Now let's take things outside the New Year's Six, transitioning now to the Citrus Bowl. It's going to be a Big Ten SEC matchup, Michigan and Alabama. Frankly, the Crimson Tide probably didn't expect to be here at the beginning of the season, yet here they are. Is Nick Saban's team going to show up?
Honestly, I don't think so. They're never motivated for these games. You look back at the Sugar Bowl a couple years ago against Oklahoma. They didn't show up. They lost. It's not even a New Year's Six Bowl. It's the Citrus Bowl. I don't think they care. Mac Jones is no Tua. Shea Patterson's last game as a Wolverine. I think he really steps up and wins one for Harbaugh, so I'm going to go with Michigan.
Jared, I'm going to have to disagree with you on this one. Bama is going to come out with, I think they feel disrespected right now. They don't want to be here, and they want to prove that they're a top dog. Mac Jones, while he lost to Auburn, he put up a good game. He did what he needed to do, and when you have 4 NFL-ready wide receivers, I just don't see a way Michigan can stick around with him.
Okay, so back to the New Year's Six, Rose Bowl, granddaddy of them all. Oregon probably shouldn't be here if they don't lose to Arizona State on the road, but they're Pac-12 champions taking on Wisconsin. Sorry, my mistake. Taking on the Wisconsin Badgers, 10-3, Big Ten West champions. Who's going to take it out in Pasadena?
I got the Ducks. I mean, in my opinion, they have the best NFL-ready quarterback in Justin Herbert, and they have a good run-pass balance. And Wisconsin, while they had a good first half against Ohio State, they looked almost weak and afraid to go out and win the game. They played not to win the game, and when you do that, I just don't see it correlating into a win.
I'm going to have to disagree. I think it comes down to conference strength. The Big Ten is so much a better and tougher conference than the Pac-12. I think Wisconsin's going to out-physical them, and I think Jonathan Taylor's going to run all over this Ducks defense. They are 10th in the nation in rushing defense, but I don't think it's going to matter. Wisconsin is 8th in the nation in total defense, and I think they're going to step up, and I think they're going to confuse Herbert, and not to mention Wisconsin is 5-0 in their last 5 bowl games.
Okay, let's go to the Sugar Bowl now. Big Easy, 2 teams that lost in conference championships. Georgia was in this game last year and lost to Texas. Do the Dogs bounce back?
I don't know if you remember, but last year before the game, Bevo went after Uga, and it really scared him, and I think the Bears are going to be coming after him again. I'm going to go with the Bears. It's a yearly tradition for the SEC not to be ready for the Sugar Bowl. I think Charlie Brewer is going to win this one for the Bears, and I think both their losses came to a playoff-bound Oklahoma, so I think the Bears are just going to be better and more motivated.
For me, it's all up to if Charlie Brewer's ready to go or not. He has a head injury, and no one's sure if he's going to play. But if he is, he's going to be ready to go, and he's going to roll Georgia. Georgia is struggling after that tough loss where they only put up 10 points against LSU. And like he said, I don't think the SEC is going to show up to this game.
Okay, so Fiesta Bowl, it's time to go to the playoffs. We got Ohio State and Clemson. Ohio State falling from number 1 to number 2 in the final rankings. But this is a really good matchup. Running backs, quarterbacks, Fields versus Lawrence, Etienne versus Dobbins. It's going to be a great game, but who's going to pull away in the desert?
I'm going to say Clemson upsets Ohio State. They're the 3 seed, Ohio State's the 2 seed. But Clemson, defending champs, and they're undefeated again, ACC champs. Ohio State looked weak against Wisconsin. While they ended up pulling it together in the second half, that first half showed a lot of weakness in Justin Fields and J.K. Dobbins, and I don't see them pulling it away with Clemson.
I'm going to agree with you, Dugan, but I think it's going to be in a little bit of a different manner. I think this game's going to look the same as it did in 2016 if you remember that 31-0 beatdown. Clemson is favored by 2.5 points, even though they're the 3 seed, but I think it's honestly warranted. They're the most rested team in America. They have a lot of experience. I think they're going to win this one handedly.
Okay, last one, guys. Atlanta, Peach Bowl. It's going to be number 1 versus number 4, LSU and Oklahoma. Joe Burrow and squad, I think I know how you guys are picking.
LSU rolls Oklahoma. Joe Burrow is the best player in the country. He's incredible. amazing to watch. Their offense is going to absolutely terrorize this Oklahoma defense. I think Oklahoma's going to put up some points, but I don't think it's going to be enough. LSU wins this game by 20 points.
No surprise, this is LSU's game. I expect them to win by multiple scores. I think it'll be somewhat high scoring, but as you said, Joe Burrow, he's going to win the Heisman, and he's been the best player in college football this year. I'm on LSU.
You guys touched on some important points. These should all be fun games to watch. Well, that's all we have time for on this special edition of Bowl Coverage. For Dugan Lloyd, Jarrett Daveler, I'm Andrew Destin. Thank you for watching, and have a great night.
Thank you for watching our latest edition of Penn State Sports Night. If you're a fan of our content, please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more clips. Also follow us on Twitter at PSSN TV and on Instagram at PSU Sports Night to keep up with the action. For all my colleagues, we are Penn State Sports Night.